Quantum Recall, Wednesday night pre-show. What's up, everybody? I am who I am. I am your humble host. Hello, everyone up there. I'm waving to you up there. I don't think I'm making efficient use of my time. I mean, like, I already realized this. When I was younger, I started realizing, there's a certain amount of the day you spend your time focusing on something. Earlier today, I spent time in the morning. I expected the guy to come and fix my internet. Thank God it's fixed now. I mean, I was anxious all week long because I didn't know how this was going to go today. Because I was like, if they don't fix it right, I am going to go get some other provider. But this guy who came was really nice, and he seemed like really confident about fixing my internet connection. So it got screwed up before I started doing QR Dizzle on Saturday night, and it's been screwed up every day since. It's on for a while, then it's off for a while, and apparently the signal wasn't connected properly, so I couldn't do any real work online unless it was through my phone, and my phone's cell connection is spotty. It's very slow and lethargic, and it kills the battery fast, and it's also annoying, but I'm really glad to say that's fixed. I have a lot of things cooking right now, and I was going to bring up, I'm reading this book about rest, and it talks about a lot of famous figures in history who made their mark and how much they worked day to day. They literally talks about the pattern of famous people throughout their entire day, how many hours they would spend on their profession, and then how many hours they would spend on leisure, taking naps, walking around and stuff like that. And I'm thinking about this very carefully. And this is part of why I'm getting involved in AI, because I know I can feel it. I'm not kidding myself when I start to get burned out and I become less effective at things. So I'm trying to always devise a more efficient workflow routine, because I'm tripping out and frustrated. I mean, I start to feel anxious and I start to feel downtrodden, and then I think it affects my creativity and my creative output and the quantity of my creative output. And I'm doing much less than I want to get this show out there and to get my media out there to build a name for myself and whatnot. I have a new computer coming that I ordered, and I'm going to be setting up AI on there. And I already have like a game plan for how I'm going to approach it, with like every single thing I need to do for these shows. And if I can get AI to do it, I'm going to put AI to that task, and all I'm going to have to do is review the AI's work, approve it, and shoot it out to the universe. And so, like, I can tell after 3 or 4 hours of hardcore focus in a day that I'm wiped out, and that I need to kind of mix up my activities. And it does include leisure. Like, I don't consider working out in the morning. I consider that to be more like a leisure activity, because my mind is at rest, kind of. I'm not stressed mentally when I'm working out. I'm stressed physically, but it doesn't burn me out as much mentally. And I have a neat relaxation routine after that with meditation. And then I read. This morning I read this book for like an hour and a half, and I'm plowing through it. It's an easy read. It's a book called Rest. And it sounds like the author is maybe that's South Korean. Alex Soo-jung Kim Pang is this dude's name, with a foreword by Ariana Huffington. And it totally talks about how important rest is if you're trying to be productive, because we live in a world where you like drive people crazy. You actually shame people for not working enough, but really there's an ideal amount of work and rest balance that people should have to like strike the greatest amount of productivity. To achieve the greatest amount of productivity, you don't go over a certain amount. After a certain amount of too much, it's a lot of diminishing returns with not a lot of productivity added. And it's important to be aware of this. This is part of like the self-analysis of a person who's trying to look at their life and see very clearly how they're doing something efficiently or not efficiently. And basically, I look at my life like this because if you know me and you're paying attention to what I'm doing, I'm trying to pump out a lot of creative output, and I'm putting a lot of energy into doing a few recordings during the week. This pre-show, the main program, Quantum Recall, on Thursdays, 12:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, streaming on X, YouTube, and Rumble. And on Saturday night, another little thing I do out here for a half an hour called QR Dizzle. I stream these things live, and I need to take clips. And all those things I'm getting done rather well, believe it or not, done to my satisfaction, done in a way where like I feel satisfied creatively putting it out there and being like, here it is, world, and I hope people catch on to it and like it. But I'm not putting it out there and doing nothing. I'm trying to figure out what I have to do additionally to draw people into the long form by putting out short clips and whatnot. And that's the bottleneck for me. That's what's extremely hard. That's extremely tiring because there are other things I want to do. I'm like committed to getting my pinball game in order and being a serious competitor with some of the best players out there. But I'm not playing enough right now because I'm trying to sort out a work routine where I can continue this show. And so a lot of it boils down to AI. And I do hope that I'm going to meet people who become part of the creative input here and part of the technical support. I've said forever, like, if I were rolling in the money, like if I had obscene amounts of money, I would be hiring a producer. I would train someone how to get all this stuff set up, ready to go. And I would basically mostly just kind of review a little and walk in, sit down, and do it. But I mean, creatively, I do enjoy part of the creative process going into this. And so I expect I will continue doing that. But there are aspects of it that I would like someone else to take care of. And frankly, I've said it before. I wish I could program AI to turn on all these TVs, go to these specific videos, go to the beginning of these videos, set up this whole thing, like import all these videos in here and make sure it's all ready to play in this program when I cue the video and whatnot. I have it set up to roll and go, but it takes time and you have to train this thing. So it's like I'm a little insane with the things I want to do because I keep saying I want to publish a magazine and I want to publish a comic book. I'm putting that out there creatively that if you're an illustrator, if you're a writer, or if you're a letterer, come my way. Because if you guys have an interesting project and you're just looking for someone to be like a publisher, I have an idea for a deal that can work for all of us. We can put out something special, publish something special, and I'll give a lot of creative latitude for people to do that. But it has to be a good, viable idea. I'm not putting out a piece of crap. Put out something that's very professional, something that opens doors for us, something we can go to like Fan Expo and have a booth for and have people coming up and getting autographs and stuff like that, promoting it. Fun stuff like that I want to do. And it's all encompassing, like having a centerpiece, Quantum Recall being the centerpiece of promotion and production. That includes all the media here promoting these other ideas like that. I want to do that. Music is included, by the way. Like I have my friend Mark is writing a book. He's a rapper and he's a producer of music, but he's writing a book and I'm like, I'll read that. So I'm waiting for him to give me a copy of that. And I was like, dude, I also want to publish a comic book. So if he has it in him to publish something like that, it's like I will take that seriously. We'll scour Colorado to find an illustrator who might be willing, able, and wanting to do this. I also, without getting too into it, because the details are boring on some level, like I have this long, continuous thread going with AI right now that's about how I'm researching and exploring ideas to make big money. And big money, I'm not going to get into how much is defined as big money. It's not as big as you think. It's not $1 million a year. It's something. So I was like, hey, what can I do? 50 to 100 hours put in of my work, and I can afford, I have the time to put in each day to build AI training modules, agentic AI towards certain ideas. And if something inspires me, so it's giving me ideas. We're researching ideas together. The AI and I are, and I'm looking for something where I go, I kind of understand that. I see. So like I want to see a suggestion to make money and go, I understand that and I see the light. I can connect the dots like this opportunity exists and I can go through it and I can basically put this money making scheme together. Not scheme. I don't want to call it a scheme, but a business model, something that generates income. And so like set it up with AI to do most of the work and approve the work myself. And so I have all these things cooking that are like a slow burn and it can be kind of exhausting. And I'm trying to manage myself that I don't get burned out because I start to get grouchy when I'm burned out and I feel like I'm under pressure when I'm burned out. And I have to stay sober and I have to stay well rested. Like this book is all about rest, but I mean also sleeping enough at night and not stressing myself out about silly things. I'm trying to stay occupied with productive, exciting, creative things because honestly, to me, that's what makes the good life. I feel content that things are okay when I'm doing stuff toward some kind of goal or outcome. It doesn't have to be all at once. And so, some people are like, you can't just do it for the money. And so the way I'm looking at it is like, yes, I want to make money, but I'm going through the list of things like looking for some kind of inspiration where I go, wow, I see it. I can see that. I can see how this is possible through setting these tools up. This does that. This does that. And you put it all together and it's like, it'll take time to build it. It'll take time to train it. But so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the inspiration of something that I like, not just, oh, wow, I see a possibility to create a system of accounting that I'll have to go out and sell to corporations. No, I'm scouring all kinds of different ideas, and it has to be one that especially is recognizable as an opportunity, but it creatively interests me. And I'm interested in all these things, like I told you. So you see my media output, and I have to take all of the workflow that I can, and I have to train a machine to start doing stuff. And I already have a plan coming in the new year. After I've started with one machine, I'm going to get another machine to build on these things. And I'm not telling you guys any specifics about what I'm doing, but I will be kind of like an open book, trying to help other people along, pursuing their own dreams and interests with AI as an assistant to help do that. So that's kind of what's interesting about doing this show right now is in the past, during the training ground, which I call Copy Who, I didn't have any access to AI yet. And then slowly but surely, I think it was like a couple years ago or something, a little more than a couple years ago, I was watching Eric from Eric and Daryl Live. And he started doing these things with AI. It began with image generation. And I was like, what's that? And I started looking at that. And then later on down the road, somewhere Grok came into being, and then Grok Imagine came into being. And I was using Midjourney and another image generator. And I've just been reading books like crazy, reading vociferously about AI, because I'm inspired to do as much as I possibly can with it. I don't care if anyone thinks I'm a dork or a wannabe or a poser or what. I'm growing in this direction. Like I'm going to use AI to make my extremely difficult and cumbersome creative life easier on me. I'm going to make it do the work so that I can work on more and so that I can scale up on things. And I hope that people will join me. Like I've been sitting thinking, I have a handful of cousins and a couple friends who are very technically astute and motivated and industrious people. And I'm like, I tend to wonder if we as a group should sit down and have a powwow with one another. There are about 5 of us, 5 people in addition to me, I can think of who, if we all put our brains together, if we all combined our efforts too, I feel like we could sort of generate something extraordinary, and each of us might even be able to have sort of a different role in that, and something amazing could happen. And so I might actually propose to these 5 individuals that we we have a get together, a powwow, maybe on a regular basis, and we sit and we talk about the creative possibilities of AI, since I'm talking about several different people who are kind of already on this track, and we know one another personally, and we work with it in our lives already. Wow, I've already killed 15 minutes talking here. But I don't know if you can tell, I'm excited about these things. And so even when I come to the show tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about AI again. And I'm not just trying to talk a big game, but if you notice, when I just did stream tests in the past, I would just start the stream and go. But now it's like every single individual show I'm doing, the Wednesday night pre-show, the Thursday Big Kahuna flagship show, Quantum Recall, QR Digital on Saturday nights. It's like every week it's getting crazy. It's getting out of hand because I'm always trying to produce something additional for it, whether it's a additional visual video bumper or graphics. I'm trying to create the thumbnails before I even come on and do it, so that the post production of putting things online with the graphics and the thumbnails are already done, and I can just go boom, 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 and even having the description written already before I even do the show. And maybe I tweak it a little if there's something spontaneous I came up with that was a little different. I keep these under 20 minutes, these pre-shows under 20 minutes, because I want to be able to upload these as reels on Instagram. And so let me actually come over here. I'm reaching near the end, and I want to have what I want. I basically want to have a similar spiel that I read every single time I end one of these. And so we're at 16 minutes, 45 seconds now. Wowie wowzers. And all I've done is talked about AI and rest. It's very important. As I say, I'm not just bragging about reading. I'm saying I read and you should too. I'm not saying I'm so great and you aren't because you don't read. I'm saying if you don't read, you better start reading. Enrich your mind. Put the time in every day. Make sure there are like 3 or 4 hours every day that you are focusing hard on your work and concentrating cognitively on your stuff. And then figure out ways to relax and decompress, because that's super important. All right. I want to show you this, everybody. If you watch sometimes and you like what I do, please check out that QR code. Follow me on social media. Help me grow. Like the posts that I put up, share them, be a part of this here, help be a part of what proliferates this, which makes this a community eventually. A community. I think I said community. Community, more like nudity, but I mean community. I like to articulate very clearly, and that's what I do. So I'm going to start this little song here, pre-show end song, and I will say visit quantumrecall.tv. Follow me on social media. Cut to the QR. I always read that shit. It's already up. Click on the QR code to follow and or subscribe on social media. As always, watch Quantum Recall TV live tomorrow, Thursdays at 12:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, streaming on X, YouTube, and Rumble. Or maybe QR Dizzle is more your style. QR Dizzle streams live on the same social network as this one, Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Quantum Recall and QR Dizzle are produced in Landia Colossus. I'm your host, Paul Vincent Serini, and I do like to end these things always by saying, peace be with you all.